What if I told you that the anxiety keeping you awake at 3 a.m., the knot in your stomach before a meeting, the racing thoughts that won't stop, aren't a disorder you're stuck with? What if they're just a habit? A loop your brain learned to run automatically. And just like biting your nails or checking your phone, it can be unlearned. The Stoics knew this 2,000 years ago. Modern neuroscience just proved them right. I'm going to show you something that will change how you see anxiety forever. For most of human history, philosophers treated anxiety not as a disease, but as a pattern, a habit of thought. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, dealt with crippling anxiety. But he didn't medicate it away. He rewired it, using principles that neuroscience now confirms actually reshape your brain. This isn't about positive thinking or breathing exercises. This is about understanding the anxiety loop at a neurological level and systematically breaking it. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete system. Not tips, a system. One that the Stoics used to build unshakable minds, and that you can start using today. Here's what's actually happening in your brain when you feel anxious. Your amygdala, the ancient alarm system, detects a threat. Real or imagined. It doesn't matter. Your body floods with cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart races. Your thoughts spiral. And here's the key. Your brain remembers this pattern. Every time you respond to anxiety with worry, rumination, or avoidance, you're strengthening a neural pathway. You're teaching your brain that this situation equals danger. This is the anxiety habit loop. Trigger, routine, reward. The trigger is the situation. The routine is your anxious response. And the reward, it feels counterintuitive, but anxiety actually rewards you. It gives you the illusion of control. When you worry, you feel like you're doing something about the problem. You're not, but your brain doesn't know that, so it keeps running the loop. Automatically, without your conscious permission. This is why anxiety feels so involuntary. Because it is. It's a habit that's been carved into your neural architecture through repetition. The Stoics understood this 2,000 years before we had brain scans. Epictetus said, "It's not events that disturb people, it's their judgments about them." Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." They weren't being poetic. They were describing the exact mechanism of the anxiety loop. The trigger isn't the problem. Your automatic interpretation of the trigger is the problem, and that interpretation is a habit. Here's the radical part. If anxiety is a habit, then it follows the same rules as any other habit, which means it can be broken. Not through willpower, not through suppression, but through systematic replacement. You can't just stop a habit. You have to replace it with a new one. The Stoics called this Premeditatio Malorum and the dichotomy of control. Neuroscience calls it cognitive reappraisal and neuroplasticity. Same mechanism, different language. Here's the complete system to break the anxiety habit. 4 steps, each one targets a different part of the loop. Step 1. Catch the trigger. You can't change what you don't notice. For 1 week, every time you feel anxiety rising, write down what triggered it. Not the feeling, the trigger. Was it a text message? A thought about the future? A memory? Most people never do this. They just feel anxious and assume it's random. It's not. There are patterns, and once you see the patterns, you can interrupt them. Step 2. Name the routine. This is where the Stoics were brilliant. When anxiety hits, Marcus Aurelius would say, "This is just an impression, not reality." He was creating distance between himself and the anxious thought. Modern psychology calls this cognitive diffusion. Here's how you do it. When the anxious thought appears, don't fight it. Label it. Say out loud or in your mind, "I'm having the thought that something bad will happen." Not something bad will happen, but I'm having the thought. This tiny shift creates space. It reminds your brain that thoughts are events in your mind, not facts about the world. Do this consistently, and you start to weaken the automatic connection between trigger and anxiety. Step 3. Interrupt with control. The Stoics had a practice called the dichotomy of control. Divide every situation into 2 categories: what you control and what you don't. You don't control the economy, other people's opinions, or the future. You do control your actions, your effort, and your interpretation. When anxiety appears, ask, what part of this do I actually control? Then focus only on that. This isn't about being calm, it's about redirecting your brain's energy from useless worry to useful action. Anxiety wants you to ruminate on everything. The dichotomy of control forces you to act on something. This breaks the loop, because action and rumination can't happen simultaneously. Step 4. Install the new habit. This is the most important step. You need to replace the anxiety routine with a new routine. The Stoics used Premeditatio Malorum, voluntary discomfort. They would deliberately imagine worst-case scenarios, not to worry, but to rehearse their response. Modern exposure therapy uses the same principle. Here's your new routine. When you catch the trigger and name the thought, immediately ask, if this fear came true, how would I handle it? Then visualize yourself handling it, calmly, competently. You're not trying to make the fear go away. You're teaching your brain that you can handle it. This is the new reward, not the illusion of control through worry, but the confidence of preparedness through rehearsal. Do this enough times, and your brain will start running this loop instead of the anxiety loop, automatically. Here's what nobody tells you about breaking the anxiety habit. It gets worse before it gets better. And that's actually a good sign. When you start interrupting an old habit, your brain resists. It's called an extinction burst. The anxiety will spike. It will feel more intense. This is your brain's last-ditch effort to get you back to the old pattern. Most people quit here. They think the system isn't working, but this is exactly when it's working. The spike means you're disrupting the neural pathway. If you push through this phase, usually 2 to 3 weeks, the pathway weakens. And the new habit starts to take hold. Marcus Aurelius faced this. He wrote about the difficulty of maintaining his practices. But he kept going, and he transformed his mind. You can do the same. So here's your challenge. For the next 21 days, run this system. Catch the trigger, name the routine, interrupt with control, install the new habit. Every single time anxiety appears, don't skip a day. Don't make exceptions. Treat it like the Stoics did, as training. You're not trying to eliminate anxiety, you're rewiring how your brain responds to it. And if you do this consistently, something remarkable will happen. The anxiety won't disappear, but it will stop controlling you. It will become background noise instead of a siren. And you'll realize what the Stoics knew all along. You were never broken. You were just running the wrong program. If this resonated with you, subscribe to this channel. We explore the ancient code, running your emotional systems, and how to rewrite it. Now go, break the habit,